All right, I think we have enough people to just get this call started. I'm super, super excited, and I look like a nut, but who cares? Who cares? This call is not about me. It's about our guest speaker that I'm really, really excited to have on tonight. And before I introduce to you the amazing Shelley, let's do some team recognition. In the 400 Club, let's hear it from Maggie Estevez and Kelly Rose. In the 500, we have Shaheen Lakhani, Elvira Cabreja, and as usual, Audrey Diaz Robles. Congratulations, guys. I sound a little bit down today, and I probably am, so don't hold me against it. I'm done. I'm like on 3 hours of sleep. Yeah. And now I've left all the energy of this call to the amazing Shelley. Shelley is a mom of 3 gorgeous kids. God bless. She's a 4-star Diamond Premier. She's a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend. And in her very own words, she's just plain awesome. So Shelley is going to give us a little bit of what she does, how she works with her team, and all that amazing stuff that she does to get to where she's at today. Shelley, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. And thank you for being patient. You know, it took us a while to get together. So
come to those who wait.
It's great, right? So I wanted to talk to you guys tonight, which is like a really good topic. I love this topic, and I'm glad that we're not talking about inviting tonight, although that's really important. But it's like that next step. What do you do after you invite, and how are you going to make people have such an amazing experience that they walk away or never walk away feeling like they can't go without this group? And that's kind of what my first challenge group was to me. I lived in that challenge group, and how can we make those challenge groups so no matter what, you guys, there's going to be times where challenge groups feel like, you know, it's crickets and it's a flop, and it's our job to keep the momentum moving forward. And I want to give you guys, like, my main sole focus when I'm asked to speak on a call is that you guys walk away with tools that you could apply to your business and to your challenge groups and into whatever, you know, the topic is and whatever you're doing. That's the one thing I love. When I'm on a call, I want to like have something that I could leave with and actually apply. So hopefully we do that tonight. And kind of by show of hands, so I kind of know where we're at with how everyone's running their challenge groups now, is who's running their own challenge groups? Like, you're doing it on your own, or are we kind of collaborating with other coaches, or are we still kind of with our upline coaches running challenge groups? Everyone kind of in a group or have their own group? Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. So you guys are running your own challenge groups now. Perfect. Running your own. Okay, and that's a huge step. I'm going to tell you something. The one thing that I want you guys, if you're not running your own challenge group yet, and don't feel like you need to run out and do it tomorrow, but I want you to feel empowered to become a leader, because that's that next step. And boy, isn't it freaking scary when it's like time to leave the nest of where you're comfortable and your comfort zone and run your own challenge group. And a lot of times I think we just tend to overthink that. And it's a lot easier than we think. If we just have good intention and we genuinely want to see people do well, we could leave and start our own challenge group. You guys, it doesn't matter if you have a team of 1 or you have a team of 100. That's your team, and they're your responsibility. And they came to you and looked to you as their coach to inspire them. And I always say you could run a challenge group with freaking 4 people. It doesn't matter. Just have no fear and get out there and do it. So obviously we all know that the first way to really get comfortable and build bonds and build relationships and kind of get in the mode of, okay, this is my business. My business now revolves around Facebook, is doing free groups. So I myself personally don't run free groups. If I have to, I will, but I haven't had to do that for a while. And I think that that really pays off because I did them in the beginning, and I still offer that to my newer coaches. So that's always a great idea, obviously, is to run a free clean eating group, a free squat challenge, a free Shakeology group. I seen Melissa Pepitone's team was going to do a 5-day shred. I thought that was an amazing idea. I shared that idea with my team. And have content ready and be a collector of content. What I do with my team is we have an actual chat that's called Clean Eats Content. And anytime we find an amazing picture with a post, I don't care whose it is, we borrow it, we steal it, whatever you want to call it, we save it. And that way, when we do run our clean eating groups for our newer coaches, it's a great way for them to segue into, being comfortable hosting their own groups. And it's a great way for you to build a bond and trust with your audience. typically we'll do like 7-day groups, but whenever we find content, we dump this content into this Clean Eats chat. And I invite people into there, and they could then use that content themselves. So that's always a really, really great place to start. And I think that, when you're first starting out, it's a nice little segue into a bigger group. But with that said, when you guys are in the inviting process, and I know that we're not going to talk about inviting right now, but I want to tell you one thing that really, really, really helps me with the invite process. When we are going through this process and I'm talking to people back and forth, I always, I'm the voice note girl. I always use my voice notes. I never, ever, ever sell Shakeology. I never sell the challenge pack. I never sell the program. I actually sell the challenge group. I put emphasis on the importance of the challenge group. That is the main thing. And one thing that I always say to people that I'm talking to is nutrition, you could find it anywhere, right? It's all over the freaking internet. You could download a meal plan. You could save a meal plan. Even fitness. You could find fitness workouts. You could find them on YouTube. You could find them anywhere. The one thing you can't find is a sisterhood, a unity, a camaraderie, a group of support and accountability. And I really, really emphasize that in the invite process when people are like, well, what's this whole group thing about? What's this, what am I gonna get from here? What is gonna be delivered here? I make sure they know that that's the bread and butter of what we do. It's not the freaking program. That's a no-brainer. Those are designed by professionals to get results. Those are designed by the best in the industry, the best celebrity trainers. The nutrition plans obviously are designed by the best. Beachbody's been around and I say these things to them verbatim. Beachbody's been around since the 90s with the Insanity and P90X. Obviously, we know that those are the best. But what is that defining moment? What is that one factor that's going to keep you using these programs and using these products long enough to see results? It's the challenge group. So now we promise these big, beautiful things, right? And you find these people entering our challenge group. It's time to deliver. Once you promise these things, you need to have some sort of valuable content and an energy around your group. So kind of take you through a synopsis of how I run my groups. I have 3 different groups. Well, more than 3, but 3 basic general types of groups. You have your active challenge group, and those I typically do obviously a new one every single 30 days, or I'll do 2 in 1 month. That is the bread and butter, the active challenge group. The second group I have is a general wellness group, and it is really self-policed. These people are people that have been on programs for some of them a couple years, and they really, really motivate each other. They're almost self-motivated. I don't do daily tips in there. They're in charge of doing their own daily tips. They're in charge of setting up their own Saturday events. They're in charge of coming up with their own little fun challenges amongst themselves, that they're going to do a Motivation Monday or a blah, 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 or a, Thirsty Thursday. And they do that themselves. And that's the general wellness community. And that's where I plug people in that maybe they've fallen off the actual challenge group. Maybe they don't need the challenge group. Maybe they're just a highly motivated person that kind of still need a place to check in with people. So that would be the second type of group, is that general wellness group. And then the third group that I run is called the graduates group. And that's where I plug in also people that have fallen off the bandwagon, or just anybody who's ever been a customer of mine, a coach of mine, my coaches, who's ever participated in a challenge group. I plug them into the graduates group, and I really use that as a group to, a couple times a month. I don't post in there daily. I go into the graduates group, and I always announce my up and coming challenges for the next month in that particular group. And like I said, those are people that maybe they do CrossFit, and maybe they just drink Shakeology, but they don't need a challenge group. But I still keep things up to date in there, and I allow all of my coaches to plug their challengers, customers, coaches into that community as well. And I really use my discretion. There's some people that just are not going to post in an active challenge group every single day, and that's one of the prerequisites for getting in our challenge groups. The first thing that I do when I open up a challenge group is I do a welcome video. I also send a welcome email, and I attach some information to that welcome email. And this happens as soon as they purchase their challenge group. The welcome email goes out. I always put everybody in the challenge group at the same exact time. If we're starting on February 1st and it's a Monday, they are going to be added to the group Saturday or Sunday before. So they're going to be added January 30th, January 31st. everybody comes into the challenge group, and come that Monday, it's week 0. And I always do my welcome videos on week 0. And I make sure everybody introduces themselves. And I would be more than happy to share the tips that I use, the videos, the 10 challenger commitments. You guys could take them and make them your own. I know some of us probably use the Lindsay Mattaway ones. I redid all of the images to be my own, and I reworded all of the tips to be my own. But in my welcome video, you guys, I cover just the basics. In that welcome email is like, this is not my group. I've done my challenge group. I'm still in my own challenge groups. This is your challenge group. I don't make the energy in here. You make the energy in here. So if you guys aren't posting, if you think of something and you keep it to yourself and you don't get out there and share that with the rest of the team, the rest of the group, then you're doing them a disservice, because there's somebody out there feeling the same way you do that you're not sharing that information with, and they're, in a sense, like Mickey would say, being a holderbacker. So I really encourage them to get comfortable, and I always drive home that, like, the more active challengers, I don't care if you post 15 times a day, awesome, get in there and be a serial poster. We love that. But those people are more likely to form bonds with the other folks, and I do tell them this in the welcome email, or the welcome video, as well as the welcome email for that matter. And I would be happy to share that email with you guys too, the content with it. But I do let them know, like, get, friend request the other people in the group. Don't be afraid. Like, these are now your sisters and brothers in fitness. And it's so awesome to see this little community of people that have been able to make these bonds, just like me and, Vivian Morais came out. She's a gal that me and her started our first challenge group together 2.5 years ago. And who the hell, we were on Instagram. We just seen a post from our coach and responded, and we ended up in the same challenge group in the summer of 2013. And here we are today. She just came and spent the weekend with my family. And those are the types of things that I share with them. Like, these are lifelong bonds and friendships that you've been brought together, because there's power in numbers, and there's really something to be said for when you get a group of like-minded people together. Now, that's not to say everybody's going to flourish and everybody's going to do awesome all the time. And that's not to say that everyone's going to live in the group and be, posting 15 times a day. Some people work all day. If you could only pop in at night for a minute, or you skip a night, or you miss a night, it's no harm, no foul. And I let them know that. But I think that us as coaches, it's our job to really be vigilant and recognize that, who's kind of fallen behind and who really needs a push, who needs help, who needs assistance. And a great way to do that is to delegate tasks to different people, especially the superstars that stand out, even if they're discount coaches. And maybe you've identified, like, a really good quality in that person. You could see it, but they just don't see it yet. Those are the people that you want to delegate. Like, hey, you're going to be my ambassador of fun. I make people that all the time. Like, you're my ambassador of fun. You're the person who posts the night before what the next day is going to be, what the theme is. Is it Woman Crush Wednesday? Is it Man Crush Monday? We've all seen those. Is it Post Your Workout Gear Wednesday, or whatever it may be? But I like to delegate that to a person. I also delegate that somebody sets up the Saturday event. And if we have, I think that, like I said, it's our job to, like, identify the vibe of the group and how it's going. And if we have a Saturday event and I have 30 people in my group and only 12 attended, well, it's time for a video. It's time for a verbal smackdown, or maybe a verbal, encouragement. The other thing I do is, in my very first initial welcome post on that Sunday, when I add everybody to the group before we get started that Monday for the week 0 post, I do a little welcome post and I tag everybody who's new in the group. And I say, introduce yourself, give us your 3 W's, who you are, what you're doing, and what you why you're doing this. I do let them know in that post, like, tell me what you need from your coach. Are you the type of person who needs, like, a gentle shove, or do you need a swift kick in the ass? That's our job, is to tell people what they need to hear and not what they want to hear. So don't turn the other cheek. I guess if people are posting, hey, I did, P90X3, and then I followed that by Insanity Max 30, and then, oh my God, I went and hit the treadmill for an hour. Like, hello, it's your job as the coach, like red flag, to tell them, you're breaking one of the commandments here. It's trust the process, do the program, follow the meal plan, drink the shake, drink the water, check in with the group and get results. It's not, you have people that, think if you don't eat as much, you're going to lose more. Or if I work out more, I'm going to lose more. It's our job to guide them. We're not fitness professionals, but we do have enough knowledge to know that it's, not okay to do that. So don't appease people by patting them on the back and saying, oh, good job. You really sweat your ass off today. No, they did themselves a disservice because they probably underate and overworked out. So I think that that's a really big thing to recognize. So that's the main thing, is I really drive it home from the invite process. And then the other thing that I shared today that I want Mealy to post in the group, just a 30-day challenge picture. That's another great way, especially if I don't know about you guys, but some people choose, like when I first started back in the day, we didn't have no 21-day fix. We didn't have no 30-day challenges, which is awesome. It's revolutionized. With us, we have such short attention spans. Like, how great is it to be able to have something that we could tangibly see the finish line, and it's not like a big hefty 9-week program or a 60-day, 90-day program. But when I started, we used the tips that were for the actual program. And I don't do that anymore. Sometimes I might use the Beachbody tips that are, I don't know, you guys just nod if you guys use those tips, the ones that are on the back office under sales and marketing, which are great tips. I mean, some of them are great. I think some of them are kind of corny, and it's nice to kind of personalize them. But, when you're in those longer groups, sometimes shit gets stagnant and it's time to, liven things up a little bit. So it's fun to come up with challenges within the challenge and give out fun little prizes. I know my coach, when we first started, we had a Friday challenge every single Friday. And these things got more and more intense as we went on. It was just crazy. It would be for something fun. Back in the day, we had E&E, like we'd all fight over this E&E, and it's a great way to get your challengers to run these little fun challenges, whether it's weekly or whether you do the picture challenge that would be a monthly thing, and kind of keep track of who's the winner, who participated the most, or who posted XYZ on their public page and got the most attraction or the most likes, because a lot of times we're all living this lifestyle. But some of us are afraid to share that publicly. And what a great segue into a potential new coach if they get empowered or motivated enough to, post something publicly. That's awesome. I mean, that's kind of was my push, is my coach would be like, okay, Friday Flex Challenge, whoever gets the most likes is going to win a thing at E&E. Like, I was on it. I was like, oh yeah, Flex Friday. So it was really a great way to, encourage people to participate and get extra bonus points for sharing that journey publicly. And then keeping people engaged in between the 21-day fix. I don't know if a lot of you guys do. A lot of coaches nowadays have been doing just the 21-day fix challenges. I know it's changed a bit since Hammer Chisel's out. I think the vibe has changed, and a lot of people have switched over to be doing that 60-day program. But before that, I did 21-day fix, like back to back to back. 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme, 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme, just with a little break for size for a minute there, and then now a break for Hammer Chisel. So I shared also an image that I use if you're going to do the 21-day fix. It's nice to break up the monotony of the program, have them do a recovery week. And that's a perfect time. If you have a 21-day fix challenge and that challenge ends and you give the participants a recovery week, I actually made up a calendar that these folks could follow before they start their next cycle of the 21-day fix. You could bring in your new challengers and have that be their week 0. Do you see what I mean? So that way everybody's on the same tips. One thing I know as a new coach that kind of had me frazzled was, holy shit, like I got people on week 3, I got people on Less Meals Combat doing week 6, I got people on, it just got to be too much. And that's when I said, enough is enough. We have one start date a month, everybody starts here, and we don't do individualized tips. We do either the multi-program tips or a tip that's going to motivate them. You guys, tips are, what motivates you? What do you like to learn about? It doesn't have to be so cut and dry, cookie cutter. Beachbody says week 3, day 2 is Shakeology is full of goji berry. Who cares? Just make something that works for you, that motivates them, that gets them going. And definitely make sure that you are checking in with your group daily. If you're absent, that's almost like a slap in the face. You know, it doesn't matter what is going on in your group. You have got to get in there. These people have trusted you. They have put, you can't promise them the sun, moon, and stars and then be absent, not even for one day. That one day could make or break somebody's journey. You know, it's really important that this becomes a business to you, and you don't, you know, it's not all about invite, and you know, Success Club points. You have real lives in here, and these people are definitely counting on you and looking to you as a leader. And that's why it's also important if you are doing groups with your downline, which is something I do. I would never bring a new coach on and be like, see ya, deuces, go do your own group. Not happening. I'll do multiple groups. I'll do a group with a couple of these coaches over here. I'll do a group with a couple of these coaches over here. That way we could be there to help each other and mentor each other. It's really important that if you are a new coach and somebody invests in your team and signs up with you as their coach, if you are in your upline coach's group, that you step up still. It doesn't matter if you have one challenger and your upline coach has 15. You step up and coach that person. You step up and tag that person and communicate with that person one-on-one. Don't leave it to your upline coach to be the leader of that group. That group needs to be just as much your group as it is your upline coach's group. Because what happens is you will then not be viewed as a leader. And that is so serious, you guys. I'm not playing. And people could get some hurt feelings over that shit. I've watched it happen. It's the weirdest little things, that energy. I had that happen with my very first diamond coach. She thought like, oh, they always ask you questions. They always ask. It's because I was the most boisterous. And it got to the point where it's like, whoa, hold back. Like, we need to separate groups because it was just too much. And it really was not healthy. If you are a leader, like I said, it doesn't matter if you have 100 or you have one person, you are leading that person to a healthier lifestyle. That's the vow that you took. That's the oath that you took. I don't know if we took an oath, but shit, you know what I mean? Like, that's our job. So that's really important. Setting requirements and setting the tone of the group from the get-go. That needs to happen from the get-go. And that's why I use the little welcome email. I think it kind of sets the tone. And also to, you know, you have to understand, like, if it was me, I didn't know my coach. I met him on Instagram, and all of a sudden I'm thrust into a private group on Facebook with a bunch of people from New York and New Jersey. I'm sitting out here from, you know, the West Coast. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, posting half-naked pictures of myself in this group. Like, you need to make these people feel comfortable. And it is a little bit scary. So it's like a fine line. It's almost like a balancing act of being able to set the tone to let them know that, like, you expect shit of me as your coach, but I expect shit of you as my challenger. Like, if you're going to be in this group, you need to step up, show up, and be about it, you know? And I really set that tone first in a manner that really gets them motivated. So don't be afraid to do that, you guys. Don't pussyfoot around with these people. Like, literally, the way to get results, right? What is it? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That's why I tell them, like, if you think you're going to do the same thing you were doing 6 months prior and expect a different result, you're not. That's why we're here. We're going to do things that push yourselves out of our comfort zones. A good way to do that in week 0 is ask them to make a video. Literally ask them, make a video telling them, hey, here's your challenge for week 0. We've been in this week 0. We've been playing with our meal plans. We introduced ourselves to the group. We posted our before pictures. Maybe we got our challenge packs and we looked at a couple of the, you know, workouts. Here comes your big test before we start day 1. I want you to post a 1-minute video. I don't care if it's 60 seconds. It says, hey, I'm Sally Sue, and I'm happy to be here. I can't wait to get started Monday. Woohoo, go team. Just that little mental shift that you made them do something that they would never in a million years do, is post a freaking video in Facebook, is huge for them. Like, it's so liberating to be able to do something different. So I think that that's always a good thing, is challenge them in that way. What else did I have this other document. I don't know if I'm too keen on it, but I'll share it. I mean, it's old school. It's been around for years. I don't know. Do you guys use the 10 Challenger commitments? Do you use that document? You do? I kind of rewrote mine and added some stuff to it. It's kind of funky, huh? Like, log everything in the Wowie Super Gym. Like, who the hell logs stuff in the Wowie Super Gym? That was me. I was like an overachiever my first challenge. I'm like, I'm going to log my rev abs in my Wowie Super Gym. But I use that, you know. And some people take that serious, you know. So that's a good thing. And I think that's pretty much it, unless we want to go into, so we said shared tasks, keeping people engaged, you know, obviously the fun challenges. All I could say is just, if you are a new coach, don't have fear to go out and march to the beat of your own drum. And even if you ask your upline coach, like, hey, can you just be in my group and be like legit in the background, kind of keep an eye on things. If I need you, I'll call you. But team up with other partners and team up with other coaches, and don't be afraid to run your own group. But if you do run your own group, know that you are counted on by many people, and this is a people-based business. And if you're not, delivering, you're going to watch your group fall apart. And if your group does fall apart and you feel like it flops, don't give up. You just march ahead. My first group, I was like, why is nobody posting? I'm making videos. I'm giving tips. I'm pouring my life out to them. You have to understand too that it's just different energy. That's why you'll watch the ebbs and flows of people's of different challenge groups. I got a group together last month called Your Year. And what I did instead of starting a new group this month is my new people went into the Your Year group. Beautiful energy. These people are gorgeous. They're sharing, they're funny, they interact with each other, they help each other out. It's this really thriving, awesome community and group. But maybe the group or two before that was like a total flop. I felt like, you get to you have week 0 and then you get to the, week 4 and you got 3 people posting. It's time to, lay down the law and say, listen, if you don't need this group, awesome. We can move you to the graduates group, or we can move you to the wellness group. But if you need us, you need to participate, because at the end of the day, it's not fair for the people who are participating. Like, they're out there pouring their lives into you and you're just like a looky-loo in the corner. It looks bad if you have 30 people and only 2 or 3 or 4 are posting. So, it's time to really reinvent that group. And that's, a good time to use like the little photo challenge things, because some people just don't know what to post. I mean, I know it sounds weird, but they just don't know what to post every day. So they don't. So anyhow, that's my 2 cents. If you guys have any questions, let me check the chat and see.
Shelley, you are freaking amazing. I was here sitting taking notes.
Oh, I think I got everything. We know this, but sometimes we forget this, like the little things that we should do to, keep it alive. And the other thing that I find, don't you guys find this to be true, is people always compare what group they're in now to their first group. We did that forever. We're like, how come no group is ever as awesome as our very first group? Well, obviously it's as awesome because it was life-changing. It was the most important group you ever be in. The people were awesome. The coaches were awesome. Everything was awesome. So don't doubt yourself. Don't ever feel like your group is not as great as the one you came from, or what have you. It's yours to make however you want to, and you could help create the energy, but it's just by setting that tone. I really recommend making 1 video a week at least, even more. People want to hear your voice, and if videos aren't your thing, maybe it's time you challenge yourself. Start making them. Maybe you get better at them, find your niche. But I like to talk to my group via video. Sometimes I rant and ramble, and I'm like, shit, they know me. They know I'm going to do that, So I think that's it, but I would be more than happy to share whatever I have with you guys, like images or little my tips or any of that stuff. I could share all kinds of stuff. I got a really good one from what is her name? Is it Brittany? She was just on the National Wake Up Call. I have her tips for 21 Day Fix. They're really good. Brittany Legita, whatever. You guys get it. The little blonde bouncing one. I got her tips, so they're good. Yeah, I will share all that stuff. I have them in Google Docs, so I'll send them over to you. Anybody else? You guys questions? Anybody going to go out and start their own challenge group this month? I think you should. Talk to one of your friends. Yes, get it. Talk to one of your friends or fellow coaches and go out there and just do it. There's no right or wrong. And even if you do fail, nobody's going to know. Nobody will know. Don't worry about it. Keep it moving.
I don't think anybody wants to ask any question. Everybody's way too shy.
Oh, that's okay. No.
What they are saying is they do want you to share all your amazing.
Of course. We all want to share. Yes. We all want to share. Life is easier when you could just copy and paste.
Your energy just has me here dying to be on the cruise, on the deck with you, because your energy is contagious. Seriously.
I'm so excited, you guys. I hope you guys, I thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you took note.
For accepting our invitation. We are really, really humbled to have you on this call, and I'm sure that tomorrow going to be a whole bunch of people here starting new challenge groups with your
I hope so. I absolutely don't have no fear. That's the one thing is like the fear. Like I remember, like I didn't want to leave, you guys. I didn't want to leave my coach's challenge group. He like essentially kicked my ass out. I had to go do my own because he's like, you are a diamond coach now. You need to go start your own challenge groups. And I was so scared, you guys. I was like, where do you find this? What do you? And we overthink so much stuff. We overthink everything. We overthink the invite process. We overthink the challenge groups. We do that to ourselves. We get in our own way when it doesn't matter. As long as you just love what you do and you want to help people, it's going to be great. It's going to be a success. And who's to determine what is successful and what isn't when it comes to, helping people? You guys, a lot of times too, it's so funny because I always feel like, because I have like a lot of self-doubt that I'll be running a group and people be really quiet and won't say anything. And then all of a sudden out of the blue, I'll get the most powerful private message from somebody. I'm like, oh, like here I am doubting. I'm here thinking like, oh, they think this group is boring. It's stupid. I told them how great it was and how life-changing it's going to be. And it really hasn't been. And then I get this amazing, powerful message and it lets me know like I'm at the right place and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's it.
Absolutely. No one has any questions.
Oh, I did. What's that?
If no one has any questions, we're going to get off because I know you have things to do and you're home alone, so you can appreciate this time.
We did good, right? Did you guys we didn't talk that long, right?
No, we did amazing. What you did
good.
in 30 minutes was incredible. I can't wait to get off. I'm like trying to finish this call now because I want to go start another challenge group with your tips.
Go. Okay, and I'll send you everything in our messenger, okay?
Thank you, honey. Thank you so much.
Bye, you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, Shelley. Have a good one.